Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well and sane under lockdown, wherever you are in the world. Here in South Africa, we're in week 3, but I know some other parts of the world you're already in week 5, 6, or even 7. Today I want to talk about the emotional roller coaster that some of us are experiencing or going to experience during this period. Now, in the beginning stages, particularly here in South Africa, we were given a defined period of 21 days, a start date and an end date. And what that does is it actually helps us manage our expectations and manage our time and know that there is an end near. However, there is the looming threat that could be extended, which brings anxiety and uncertainty with it. Now, in the beginning stages of lockdown, we were all very positive and optimistic about how we were going to use our time. We were going to do our DIY lists. We were going to take time out for ourselves. We were going to catch up on all the things that we'd been meaning to do but we haven't done. We were also going to use the time to upskill ourselves as well. And we were beginning quite creative about how we were connecting with other people, with families and friends, online house parties, etc. And that's great because it helps us remain positive and it helps us remain optimistic that we're going to get through this together. But as we go down the line in terms of our emotions and the time frame, that can start changing. When we start experiencing that cabin fever feeling, that being locked up, the loss of our freedom, our movement, our ability to come and go as we please, our emotions can start defaulting to negative emotions. Particularly on those down days when we may feel we're not being as productive as we should be from a work point of view, or whether it be from a home point of view, managing the kids and their studies or our own expectations of ourselves, we can start taking a toll on our mental health and well-being. And this is where we really have to, we start talking to ourselves in terms of, come on, you can do this, you can get through this. We just need to stick to our routine. We just need to schedule ourselves, and we just need to be better at what we're doing. And that's great. But that can also leave us feeling on some days that we're achieving and we're accomplishing and we're satisfied that we've managed to get through it. But on other days, it can also leave us feeling frustrated in that we are wasting our time. We're not being as effective or productive as we could be. And this is also where potentially, whether we are in confinement with our partners and our families and our kids, we can start getting on each other's nerves. There can be a lot of friction. We can be in each other's faces. Or if we're on our own, we can really start feeling that impact of being alone and lonely and not having people to connect with. And we start feeling that social isolation a lot more. And the risk here is that we can start feeling down and potentially even depressed. And depression can start setting in. And this is where you need to watch out for your mood swings and how you are coping. For example, eating, emotional eating, potentially sleeping a lot, just not being able to be focused and to do the things that you need to do, being distracted by all sorts of little things that never used to distract you in the past. We could also start experiencing anger in terms of, that we've been forced into this situation. It was against our free will. Why can we not go out and like some other parts of the world where they're allowed to still go out and walk their dogs or go for runs, or potentially even, there are some restaurants in that are open. But obviously different parts of the world are coping with the coronavirus in different ways. And they've chosen those strategies for various reasons. But it's almost like we are experiencing loss or grief. We've lost our freedom. We've lost almost our identity in a way, because we get our identity from going to work or going to school, the people that we interact with, coming home, and that's all been taken away from us. So a lot of us may potentially be feeling a lot lost. We don't know who we are. We're just like ambling around, and that's okay. It's all part of the process. Think of it as grieving, and you've got to give yourself time to grieve through and accept that our old life is gone. It's not there anymore. And when we come out on the other side, we're not going to go back to normal. Our normal is going to be very different. It's going to be a new normal where we would have learned different ways of interacting and engaging with each other. We would have started to realize what is important to us versus what is of value. So connection, relationships, people, as well as quality of life versus things, for example, like material things that we've realized that actually we can do without them. We don't actually need them as much as we thought we did. And then throughout all of this, finding some kind of meaning or some kind of purpose to come out of this in terms of we're all doing this to keep the world safe, to keep each other safe. And it's not just about me and that I'm going through this on my own, that we're all going through this together. And again, if you are going through situations like this, I want to urge you to please reach out and connect and ask for support, either to service providers that offer services like online counseling or coaching, or your national support services, your national health system, wherever you might be. Don't let yourself get into that deep, dark place where you are potentially going into depression, or where potentially domestic violence may arise as a result of the confined area and space that you're being in. And that protect everything that is close and dear to you, and to include in your own health and well-being.